Okay, after a trip to the range, we're going to compare our two 380 pocket auto pistols in general. And again, I am not an instructor or I'm not paid or given these guns by somebody to review. This is my personal property. I purchased these, and it is just my honest opinion and how I look at these guns. Okay, and agree, disagree, this is just going to give you a rundown. Basically, this video is for someone who's interested in this type of gun and a little bit of my personal information on it. So, 380 pocket automatics. Now, all the rage is a subcompact 9, with a 12, 13 round magazine. Those guns, yes, they're more powerful, but they're bigger, they're heavier, and they're awful difficult to control. You would have to practice an awful lot, which nowadays ammunition costs and that can make it difficult and expensive. The 380 pocket gun, like these two here, fall into a category to where I can just keep this in a jacket pocket, pants pocket. It's easy to conceal, and yeah, they're easy to shoot and control. Okay, granted, the cartridge is not that powerful. A lot of people may think it's too weak, but I believe it's sufficient enough to defend myself in a public place or something against an attacker, which is why I purchased the gun. Okay, I don't expect to get in a running gun battle or a big shootout. So, bearing that in mind, that's why I like these. Let's start with, first of all, the cost. And this is just round numbers. The Taurus, as it comes in the box, say it's a $200 gun. That price can vary $20 one way or the other, okay? The Ruger is a $400 gun. So bear in mind, if you're on a budget or cost conscious, the difference between this gun and this gun is double in price. So 200, 400, okay? Now we'll look at what we get. With the Taurus Spectrum, you get 2 mags. You get a 7-shot magazine with a finger extension, and you get a 6-shot magazine, which is pretty much a flush mount, okay? With the Ruger, the standard mag, the Taurus comes with 2 magazines. The Ruger comes with 1 magazine, but it does come with 2 floor plates. One is flush for a flush mount, and the other one has this little finger rest on there. And this is a 10-round mag. You can buy, and this is not aftermarket, this is Ruger factory. This magazine has a little base extension, and this magazine will hold 12 rounds. Now I found the 10 or the 12 getting like the 10th round in this magazine and the 11th and 12th in this one. You'll probably need that magazine loader. There's a reason they give that with you in the box that comes with the pistol. Also, this is not an aftermarket mag. This is a Ruger product. But the strange thing is, I bought a 2-pack of these and basically paid $24 a piece for them. You will find these online, ranging in price other from, like I said, a 2-pack for 24 bucks. Or they sell individual magazines from anywhere from $34 to $38 for 1 mag. So be careful. But I got a 2-pack, so I have 2 of these. Now, the difference with the mags, and if magazine capacity is paramount to you, then the Ruger wins on that point because it has a larger magazine capacity, okay, if that's important to you. I would be satisfied with the 7-round magazines, 7 and 6, in a gun this size, okay? So, now how this translates into performance of the gun, a single stack pistol, like this Spectrum, okay? This thing fits in my hand a little bit better. It's a little bit more comfortable to grasp, point, and shoot this small little gun. Okay, the Ruger, even though we're talking the difference in the width, I'd say about a 1/4 inch difference. The difference in the width isn't that terrible, but I can feel it in the hand. This sits in my hand differently, okay? And while it's not bad, or it's not detrimental, there is a difference. It's just my personal preference. The Spectrum fits in my hand. A narrower thing fits in my hand and feels a little bit more comfortable, okay? So that's what your magazines, what comes with it, and how the width of the grip and size of the gun affects the grip. Now, next, the action, and that makes a difference. Okay, the Ruger is a single action hammer-fired pistol, and the Taurus is a double action only striker-fired gun. Both guns do not have a manual safety, so they rely on the trigger and the action as your safety. So, how would the Spectrum work? Well, like I said, double action, you would have a round in the chamber, okay, if it's what you prefer to carry, and what you have is, with this trigger, and this is a solid trigger, doesn't have the two-piece safety in it. It's a double action pull like a revolver, and come back and bang, all right? So that's how this works, and that's how your safety net is in there. Now, this is not too bad, and I kind of like it. It's somewhat smooth, it ain't a match-grade gun, but the one advantage you have of this, even though that this striker fire system can be problematic in reliability and sensitive to certain ammunition. Okay, the first gun I had a whole bunch of problems with it. But this one I haven't, so I don't know if they've improved it, made a stronger spring, or what. Say you fired a cartridge, it didn't go off, you have restrike capability other than having to rack the action to clear the round that didn't go off. Now the Ruger, this has a two-piece trigger safety. Basically, unless you're depressing both, you can't get the trigger to function. And how this gun works and what's different from the Spectrum is you must, when I said single action, you must draw the slide back, cock the little internal hammer. And again, no safety, so it's the trigger. You have to get that center piece pressed, and then it comes up, and the brake, and it is hammer fired. A little hammer there goes down. So just like a 1911, once it's fired, can't do nothing until the gun is cocked again. So if you had a round not go off with this, you would have to rack the action back and clear the weapon to get it to work again. The only difference is in firing this gun, I believe this hammer system is more reliable than a striker fired. So probably you're not going to get any issues with ammunition in that. Now, unfortunately, with the way prices are, I could not go, and with any of these little guns, when it comes to accuracy or anything, what you would do is go out and get several brands of .380 automatic from different manufacturers. And you would try them out in your gun, and you will find that these pistols, probably one brand of ammunition will function fine, not give you any trouble, and give you better accuracy than others. But unfortunately, in these times, that can't be done, okay? But that would be the way to do it. So now, we covered that, price, this and that. Next thing is the sights. The Taurus Spectrum has these tiny sights here, pretty basic, like a lot of these pocket guns. Very small, simple sight, okay? Non-adjustable notch that's actually, the sights are part of the slide, so there's no adjustment, no anything. The thing about these is they can be difficult to pick up in certain lighting conditions, okay? But that comes with the territory of these small guns. Where Ruger has improved on that is they've put basically oversized sights on this pistol. Now, back in the old days when everybody was customizing 1911s, military grade guns, the big problem was they said the sights were very small and hard to see and pick up in rapid acquisition. So what Ruger has done with this gun is they put these sights with a dot, which are oversized, stand up pretty high, and they are quite easy to acquire when pulling this gun out of your pocket. Acquiring the sight, okay, and lining it up correctly is vastly improved with these oversized sights. All right. So going back to the ammunition and the accuracy, if you watch the video where I fired these guns, the accuracy of the ammunition I only had one type, which was reloads, is about the same. So I cannot say one is more accurate than the other unless you use the ammunition test. Okay. On the plus side for the Ruger, the sights, the larger magazine capacity to some people would be a great thing. On the Spectrum side, the fit and feel in the hand is better for me. Okay. It does come with 2 magazines, and really you don't have to purchase any else. These 2 magazines that came with the gun are sufficient for me. Okay. The downside is mag capacity, functionality. This gun is probably more sensitive to ammunition. You could, like most striker-fired pocket guns, it can be sensitive to ammunition, so that's kind of a downside of it. Downside on a Ruger is I kind of don't like, personally, the oversized grip. Feels uncomfortable. This trigger, to me, it's not that it's bad. It does break. The break is something when I first did it, because I'm used to this, which is a smooth transition. This, pretty even, equal, long pull, smooth transition. The trigger on this gun comes back, gets to where you get to the point where it's going to break, and then there's a little bit of hesitation, and then it goes off. It's not a deal breaker, it's just something I would have to practice with this gun to get used to the trigger, and that would also help improve on accuracy. And then again, the price point. So that's basically the differences. It'd be the price, mag capacity. They perform the same, okay? And in terms of size, put them here side by side, this frame of this gun is a tad bit wider, okay? Is about the biggest difference. But in terms of, the size, they're almost identical in size, okay? Almost identical. Okay, so the only difference is this grip here on the Ruger is a little wider. Okay, and again, like I said, I prefer the narrower grip. Kind of fits better in my hand. It just feels comfortable with me. So it's about the only difference. All right, that's my opinion on these 2 guns. And like I said, okay, there's almost a double price difference, the mag capacity, but as far as accuracy, they're about equal. I would say reliability, functioning with the Ruger edges over the Taurus a little, just basically because of the design. The striker-fired 380 pocket guns can be finicky with ammunition, so a little bit of reliability issue there. So the Spectrum loses a little on that. But what I do to counter this is I test certain ammo. I only carry this with factory ammo that I know I've shot like 2 boxes through without any light strikes or anything. And I put that brand in there, and it's in the mags when I carry it. Okay. So that's my thoughts on it. Enjoy the video and stay tuned.